Good day, everyone. Introduction, connection, and dependence. There comes a time when every individual must be prepared to stand alone. The truth is, the world around us can change in an instant, and in those moments of solitude, we find strength we never knew we had. Being ready to survive alone is not just about physical preparedness, it's about cultivating mental, emotional, and spiritual resilience that can carry you through any storm. Self-reliance is one of the most profound abilities an individual can develop, for it represents the foundation of true independence. It is the recognition that, no matter how interconnected the world might seem, the only person who will always be with you through every up and down is yourself. To truly understand the power of self-reliance, one must first step away from the dependence on others, on circumstances, and on external validation. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to seek support, advice, or approval from others. It's easy to look around and think that survival, whether in daily life or in moments of crisis, depends on the support of friends, family, or society. However, this perspective can lead us to overlook the innate strength we carry within. At its core, self-reliance is about having the ability to trust yourself. Trust that you are capable, that your instincts will guide you, and that your thoughts will lead to meaningful actions. Trust is not something that comes easily. It's something that needs to be built, cultivated, and nurtured over time. You don't just wake up one day and suddenly trust yourself fully. It is a continuous journey of facing your fears, overcoming challenges, and succeeding on your own. Each victory, no matter how small, builds that trust in yourself. Moreover, self-reliance extends beyond just surviving in times of crisis. It includes the way you approach your day-to-day existence. How often do we look for validation or approval from others before taking a step, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or even in our personal choices? True self-reliance means making decisions that are aligned with your own values without the need for reassurance from the outside world. It means living authentically, knowing that you are making the right choices based on your own judgment, even if the world disagrees. When you are self-reliant, you start to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to test and refine your abilities. The inevitable difficulties and adversities of life are not seen as burdens, but as invitations to grow. A person who depends on others will feel weak when faced with a challenge because they see it as a problem to be solved by others. But the self-reliant person sees it as an opportunity to tap into their own creative solutions, to be resourceful, and to uncover strengths they never knew they had. Self-reliance also means taking responsibility for your own well-being, both mentally and physically. It means developing a mindset that doesn't blame external circumstances for your problems. Instead, you accept that your response to any given situation is what shapes your experience. When you rely on others to shape your environment or emotional state, you give away your power. But when you take full responsibility for how you react and respond to the world, you reclaim that power. A key part of self-reliance is the understanding that you do not need anyone's permission or approval to be yourself or to take action. This freedom from seeking external validation is liberating. You stop waiting for the right time or for someone else to tell you what you should be doing. You become the decision maker of your life, guided by your inner compass and not by the shifting winds of societal expectations or the opinions of others. In moments of solitude, when you are truly alone, self-reliance is what sustains you. It's the quiet confidence that allows you to stand firm in your own presence, knowing that you have the resources within you to overcome any challenge. The power of self-reliance isn't about arrogance or isolating yourself from the world, but rather about being in tune with yourself so deeply that you can face whatever life throws at you with poise and resolve. True self-reliance, however, does not negate the value of relationships or collaboration. It simply means that your sense of worth, power, and stability does not depend on anyone else. You are not waiting for someone to tell you what to do or to fix things for you. In fact, when you are self-reliant, you become a pillar of support for others, not out of obligation, but because you have something genuine to offer. Your independence creates an unshakable foundation that others can draw strength from, and this mutual exchange of strength becomes the true essence of interdependence. In conclusion, understanding the power of self-reliance is a transformative journey. It is the realization that you as an individual are enough. You are enough to face whatever challenges come your way, to make decisions that align with your values, and to trust that your own abilities will carry you through life's unpredictable moments. Being self-reliant is not about rejecting the world or others. It's about acknowledging that your inner strength is what will carry you through all situations. And from that place of inner power, you can navigate the world with clarity and confidence. Emotions are a powerful force shaping our experiences, reactions, and perceptions of the world. They can either uplift us to great heights or drag us into depths of despair. For most of our lives, we are taught to react to emotions as they arise, allowing them to dictate our responses and often our decisions. However, to truly master your life, it is essential to master your emotions not by suppressing or ignoring them, but by learning how to understand, process, and respond to them in a way that empowers you rather than controls you. Emotional mastery begins with the recognition that emotions, like all aspects of our being, are not inherently good or bad, they simply exist. Anger, sadness, fear, joy, and love are natural human responses to the circumstances we encounter. The problem lies not in the emotions themselves, but in how we respond to them. For many, emotions become overwhelming, and in those moments they feel as though they have no control. They react impulsively, and in doing so, they often create consequences that amplify the very emotions they sought to escape. To develop emotional mastery, you must first cultivate awareness of your emotions. This means becoming an observer of your inner state instead of simply being carried away by it. When you feel anger rising within you, do you pause to notice it? Or do you act immediately, letting it take control of your actions? When sadness envelops you, do you allow its space to exist? Or do you quickly try to suppress it, thinking it's something to be avoided? Emotional mastery is the ability to observe these feelings without becoming them, to understand their root cause, and to respond from a place of awareness rather than from automatic impulse. One of the first steps in developing emotional mastery is learning to sit with your emotions without judgment. Many people feel compelled to immediately label emotions as good or bad, but this only creates resistance. When we label an emotion as something to be avoided, we tend to suppress it, which often leads to more intense feelings later. Instead, learn to embrace your emotions as part of the human experience. When you feel anger or frustration, for example, instead of labeling it as a negative emotion, try to understand what it is trying to communicate. What is the underlying need or desire that is not being met? Is there something that requires your attention, something that needs to be addressed? By observing your emotions without judgment, you also begin to create the space needed to choose your response. Emotions are powerful, but they do not have to dictate your actions. The key to emotional mastery is the ability to create this space between feeling and response. When you feel a strong emotional reaction, take a moment to breathe, reflect, and then choose how to act. This is the moment when you decide whether to react impulsively or to respond thoughtfully. Your ability to pause and reflect, even if only for a few seconds, can make all the difference in the outcome of a situation. An important aspect of emotional mastery is emotional regulation, the ability to consciously adjust your emotional state. While we can't always control the initial emotion that arises, we can learn how to regulate our emotional response. This could mean calming yourself down when you're angry, soothing your fears when you're anxious, or elevating your mood when you're feeling low. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, physical activity, and mindfulness can all help to regulate your emotions. They give you the tools to recenter yourself, to return to a place of balance, and to choose a more constructive path forward. Additionally, emotional mastery involves understanding the interconnectedness between your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Often, our emotional responses are shaped by underlying thought patterns and beliefs that we may not even be conscious of. For example, if you believe that you must always be in control, the moment you feel a loss of control, you may experience intense frustration or anxiety. By identifying and challenging these limiting beliefs, you can prevent them from controlling your emotional responses. Over time, you begin to reprogram your mind to adopt healthier beliefs, which naturally leads to healthier emotional reactions. Another key aspect of emotional mastery is empathy. Mastering your own emotions enhances your ability to understand and empathize with the emotions of others. When you are in control of your own emotional landscape, you can approach others' emotional states with greater compassion and understanding. You can offer support without becoming overwhelmed by their emotions. And you can communicate more effectively without letting your own emotions cloud your judgment. Emotional mastery does not mean detaching from others' feelings. Rather, it means being able to remain grounded in your own emotional state while still being present for others. The practice of emotional mastery also involves letting go of past emotional baggage. So often we carry past hurts, regrets, and grudges, allowing them to shape our present emotional experiences. These unresolved emotions can cause us to react in ways that are out of proportion to the current situation. To truly master your emotions, you must learn to let go of these past emotional weights. This might mean forgiving yourself or others, releasing resentment, or simply allowing yourself to heal from past wounds. When you let go of the past, you free yourself to experience emotions in the present moment without the burden of old patterns. Finally, emotional mastery is about being able to navigate both the highs and lows of life with grace and resilience. Joy, excitement, and love are all wonderful emotions, but they can also cloud your judgment if not balanced with awareness. Similarly, difficult emotions such as sadness or anger are part of the human experience, but they don't have to define you. Developing emotional mastery means learning how to flow through both the joyful and painful moments of life without becoming overwhelmed by either. It's the ability to maintain your center, no matter what life throws your way. In conclusion, emotional mastery is not about suppressing or ignoring emotions, it is about understanding, accepting, and responding to them with intention. It is about being in charge of your own emotional life rather than being at the mercy of it. By cultivating emotional awareness, regulation, and resilience, you can navigate life's challenges with greater ease, communicate more effectively, and create a life that is aligned with your deepest values and desires. Emotional mastery is a lifelong practice, but one that transforms your inner world and, by extension, the world around you. In a world that often seems filled with noise, chaos, and constant movement, the quest for inner peace has become more vital than ever. The external world, with its demands, pressures, and uncertainties, can easily pull us into a whirlwind of stress and distraction. Yet within us lies the potential for an unwavering tranquility, a deep-seated peace that remains untouched by the external storms. Cultivating inner peace is not about escaping the realities of life, but about learning to navigate them with calmness and clarity. It's about creating a state of being where, no matter the circumstances, you remain grounded, centered, and whole. To cultivate inner peace, the first step is recognizing the role of the mind in shaping our experience. The mind, with its constant stream of thoughts, judgments, and anxieties, can often create a sense of inner turbulence. We get caught in cycles of worry about the future, regret about the past, or dissatisfaction with the present moment. These mental patterns, though natural, can cloud our perception and make us feel as though peace is something far beyond our reach. In truth, peace is not something we need to search for outside ourselves. It is something we must cultivate within our own minds. One of the key components of inner peace is the ability to quiet the mind. This does not mean eliminating all thoughts, as this is not only impossible but counterproductive. Rather, it means learning to distance ourselves from the incessant chatter of the mind. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for quieting the mind. In meditation, we create space between ourselves and our thoughts, observing them without attachment or judgment. With practice, we begin to realize that we are not our thoughts, we are the observer of our thoughts. And by creating this distance, we begin to find a deep sense of stillness beneath the surface noise. In addition to meditation, mindfulness is another practice that supports the cultivation of inner peace. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment without distraction or resistance. So often we are either reliving the past or worrying about the future, completely missing the beauty and serenity of the present moment. By bringing our full attention to whatever we are doing, whether it's eating, walking, or even just breathing, we can create an experience of peace. In these moments, we are not caught in a rush to get somewhere or achieve something, we simply are. The present moment, when fully experienced, is always peaceful, for it is free from regret, worry, and expectation. Another aspect of inner peace is acceptance. Life is unpredictable, and it is easy to feel unsettled, when things don't go according to plan. We all encounter disappointments, setbacks, and challenges that can shake us to our core. Yet, inner peace is not found in resisting or fighting these challenges, but in accepting them as part of the flow of life. Acceptance is not about passivity or giving up. It is about recognizing that some things are beyond our control and that peace comes from surrendering to what is. When we stop struggling against reality and accept things as they are, we release the tension and frustration that often arises from resistance. Acceptance does not mean resignation, but rather a deep recognition that in each moment we can find peace regardless of external circumstances. Alongside acceptance, forgiveness is another crucial element in cultivating inner peace. Holding on to anger, resentment, or grudges only creates inner turmoil. These negative emotions, while natural, are like poison to the soul. Forgiveness is not about condoning someone else's behavior, but about freeing yourself from the emotional burden of hurt. When you forgive, you are releasing yourself from the grip of the past and allowing yourself to move forward with peace in your heart. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, for in letting go of past pain, you create the space for peace to flourish. To further deepen inner peace, it is essential to let go of attachments. We often attach our sense of peace and happiness to external things, possessions, people, achievements, or circumstances. While these things can bring moments of joy, they are fleeting. When we place our happiness in anything that is impermanent, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment. True peace comes when we detach from these external conditions and realize that our peace does not depend on anything outside of ourselves. By letting go of attachments, we free ourselves from the fear of losing what we hold dear, and we cultivate a deep, abiding peace that is not dependent on the shifting tides of life. Living with purpose is another pillar of inner peace. When we live in alignment with our deepest values and truths, we experience a sense of fulfillment that brings peace to our hearts. Often stress and unrest arise when we feel disconnected from our purpose or when we are living in a way that is incongruent with who we truly are. By taking time to reflect on what matters most to us and making choices that honor our authentic selves, we cultivate a sense of peace that flows from within. Purpose gives us direction, clarity, and a sense of meaning, which helps to anchor us amidst the turbulence of life. Additionally, cultivating inner peace involves embracing self-compassion. Many of us are our own harshest critics, constantly judging ourselves for our mistakes, flaws, and shortcomings. This inner self-criticism creates a sense of inner conflict that disrupts our peace. Self-compassion, on the other hand, is the practice of treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, just as we would treat a friend in times of difficulty. When we learn to embrace ourselves fully, flaws and all, we create an inner harmony that allows peace to thrive. Gratitude is another powerful tool in the cultivation of inner peace. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our perspective and open ourselves to a deeper sense of contentment. Gratitude helps us to see the abundance in our lives, no matter how small the blessings may seem. By appreciating what we have, we quiet the desires that often lead to dissatisfaction and discontentment. Gratitude is a practice that shifts the focus from scarcity to abundance, and in doing so, it brings peace to our hearts. Finally, it is important to recognize that cultivating inner peace is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing practice. Life will continue to present challenges and external circumstances will fluctuate. However, by committing to the practices of mindfulness, acceptance, forgiveness, detachment, self-compassion, and gratitude, we can create a reservoir of inner peace that we can draw upon at any time. The more we nurture this peace, the more it becomes our natural state of being. In conclusion, cultivating inner peace is a deeply transformative journey that requires dedication, practice, and self-awareness. It is not a destination, but a continuous unfolding of calm, clarity, and acceptance. In a world that often pulls us in countless directions, inner peace is the steady anchor that keeps us grounded. When we learn to find peace within ourselves, we not only improve our own lives, but we also become a source of peace for those around us. In the end, true peace is not just the absence of conflict or turmoil. It is the presence of a profound sense of wholeness, contentment, and connection to the present moment. Mental strength is one of the most valuable assets a person can possess. It is the ability to stay grounded, focused, and resilient in the face of adversity, uncertainty, and hardship. Mental strength isn't about being unfeeling or detached from the world. Rather, it is about being able to experience life fully without allowing the challenges or the emotions of the moment to overpower your ability to think clearly and act effectively. It is about navigating life with confidence, regardless of the difficulties that come your way. Developing mental strength allows you to move forward with courage, to rise above challenges, and to maintain your sense of purpose, even in the most difficult situations. To become mentally strong, it is essential to first understand that your mind is not a passive entity. It does not simply react to the world around you, rather, it is constantly shaping your perception of reality and guiding your response to it. The way you think influences your actions, your emotions, and your decisions. If your thoughts are dominated by negativity, self-doubt, or fear, these mental patterns will limit your ability to respond effectively to life's challenges. Therefore, mental strength starts with cultivating a mindset that is focused on possibility, growth, and resilience. One of the key aspects of mental strength is the ability to overcome fear. Fear is a natural and instinctual response to potential threats. But it can also become a barrier to growth if allowed to dominate your thoughts and actions. Most people are held back by fear: the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of making mistakes. However, mentally strong individuals learn to face fear head-on. They do not allow fear to paralyze them or dictate their actions. Instead, they acknowledge it, understand it, and move forward in spite of it. Fear is not something to be avoided, it is something to be conquered. The more you face your fears, the less power they have over you. Equally important is the ability to manage adversity. Life is filled with obstacles, some small, some life-altering, but mentally strong individuals are those who do not crumble in the face of hardship. Instead, they see adversity as an opportunity for growth. They do not allow setbacks to define them, but rather use those experiences as stepping stones to become stronger. It is through adversity that we often discover our true potential, as it forces us to adapt, persevere, and find creative solutions to problems. Mental strength is not about avoiding adversity, but about developing the resilience to face it and come out stronger on the other side. An essential trait of mental strength is the ability to remain disciplined in the pursuit of goals. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, maintaining focus and commitment to long-term objectives is a challenge. Mentally strong individuals are able to stay disciplined, even when the path is difficult or when immediate gratification is tempting. They understand that true success and fulfillment come from sustained effort and persistence, not from taking shortcuts or giving in to impulses. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and it requires the ability to say no to short-term pleasures in favor of long-term gains. Along with discipline comes the importance of developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities, intelligence, and talents can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset is the opposite of a fixed mindset, where a person believes that their abilities are limited and cannot be changed. Mentally strong individuals embrace a growth mindset, seeing failures and mistakes as opportunities to learn and improve rather than as evidence of inadequacy. They understand that growth is a continuous process and they are not deterred by setbacks. Instead of saying "I can't," they say "I can't yet." They recognize that every challenge, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity to expand their capabilities. In addition to cultivating a growth mindset, mental strength requires the ability to stay calm under pressure. In high-stress situations, it's easy to become overwhelmed or make impulsive decisions. However, mentally strong individuals remain calm and composed even in the face of crisis. They are able to assess situations with clarity and make thoughtful, measured decisions, rather than reacting impulsively. The ability to stay calm is essential not only for making sound decisions, but also for maintaining a sense of control and confidence. When you can remain calm under pressure, you not only perform better, but you also inspire confidence in those around you. Another important aspect of mental strength is emotional regulation. Emotions are a natural part of the human experience, but when left unchecked, they can cloud judgment, lead to poor decisions, and fuel destructive behaviors. Mentally strong individuals are able to manage their emotions effectively, acknowledging them without allowing them to dictate their actions. They practice self-awareness, noticing when their emotions are beginning to take control, and they use tools such as deep breathing, meditation, or positive self-talk to regain composure. Emotional regulation allows you to maintain your focus, stay grounded, and make decisions that align with your values and long-term goals rather than being swayed by momentary emotional impulses. Mentally strong individuals also understand the importance of self-belief. They know that their thoughts and beliefs shape their reality, and they have developed the inner confidence to trust in their abilities. Self-doubt is a natural human experience, but mentally strong individuals do not let it define them. They cultivate a deep trust in their own judgment and abilities, and they take bold action based on that trust. They do not wait for external validation or approval, but instead trust their own inner compass to guide them. This self-belief is rooted in a deep sense of purpose and self-awareness, and it enables them to tackle challenges with a sense of certainty, even in the face of uncertainty. An often overlooked but crucial component of mental strength is the ability to let go of things that are beyond your control. Life is filled with circumstances, people, and events that you cannot control, and it is easy to become frustrated or anxious when things do not go as planned. However, mentally strong individuals have learned to let go of the need to control everything. They focus their energy on the things they can control, such as their actions, reactions, and mindset, and they accept the things they cannot change. This acceptance of the uncontrollable allows them to conserve their energy and maintain their mental well-being, rather than wasting it on futile efforts to change things that are out of their hands. Finally, mental strength is also about maintaining perspective. Life can often feel overwhelming, and it's easy to get caught up in the intensity of the moment. However, mentally strong individuals have developed the ability to zoom out and see the bigger picture. They understand that in the grand scheme of life, setbacks, challenges, and failures are often temporary. They do not allow themselves to be consumed by the difficulties of the moment, but instead maintain a sense of perspective that allows them to stay focused on their long-term goals and vision. In conclusion, becoming mentally strong is not a process that happens overnight. It requires continuous practice, self-reflection, and a commitment to personal growth. Mental strength is about more than just enduring difficult situations. It is about thriving in the face of adversity, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, and maintaining resilience in the pursuit of your goals. By cultivating self-discipline, emotional regulation, a growth mindset, and the ability to stay calm under pressure, you can build the mental strength necessary to navigate challenges with confidence and clarity. The journey to mental strength is a lifelong process, but it is one that will empower you to face any obstacle with the unwavering belief that you have the ability to overcome it. In today's modern world, most people live with the comfort of knowing that help is only a phone call away, that food and water are readily available, and that technology can solve nearly every problem. However, the reality is that there may be moments in life when we find ourselves in situations where these comforts are no longer accessible. Whether you're caught in the wilderness, stranded due to a natural disaster, or facing an unexpected emergency, knowing how to survive and thrive without relying on external resources is a crucial skill. Building practical survival skills goes beyond the ability to just survive. It's about having the knowledge and confidence to take control of your circumstances, to think critically, and to adapt to whatever challenges may come your way. These skills are not only useful in extreme situations, but can also increase your self-reliance and resilience in everyday life. The first and foremost survival skill is the ability to stay calm and focused under pressure. In any survival situation, panic is your greatest enemy. It clouds your judgment, impairs your ability to think clearly, and causes you to make decisions based on fear rather than logic. Learning how to manage your emotions, breathe deeply, and maintain a clear head in times of crisis is essential. The first step to survival is acknowledging that fear and stress are natural responses, but they do not have to control your actions. By cultivating mental clarity and emotional control, you put yourself in a position to respond with greater effectiveness and resourcefulness. Once you've mastered the ability to remain calm, the next essential survival skill is situational awareness. Situational awareness involves understanding your environment and assessing your resources. Whether you are in the wilderness, in an urban setting or in any emergency scenario, having an acute awareness of your surroundings is critical. This means taking stock of where you are, what is around you, what resources are available, and what potential dangers may exist. By developing the habit of observing and analyzing your environment, you can make better decisions and act quickly to secure what you need. One of the most important survival skills is the ability to build shelter. Shelter protects you from the elements, whether it's extreme heat, cold, rain, or wind. Without proper shelter, your chances of survival dramatically decrease, as exposure to the environment can quickly lead to hypothermia, heat exhaustion, or dehydration. The key to building an effective shelter is understanding the basic principles of insulation and protection. If you are in a forested area, finding materials such as leaves, branches, and bark can help you create a makeshift shelter. In urban areas, knowing how to make use of available structures such as vehicles, abandoned buildings, or other forms of cover is essential. Shelter building is not just about protection. It's about creating a space where you can rest, recover, and think clearly, which are all vital for survival. Along with shelter, one of the most critical survival skills is fire. Fire provides warmth, light, and a means to purify water and cook food. Knowing how to build a fire in various conditions, whether in the rain, wind, or dry environments, is essential. Fire starting techniques vary, and it's useful to have multiple methods available. Traditional fire starting tools include matches, lighters, and fire starters, but it's important to learn how to create fire using primitive methods, such as friction, using a bow drill, flint and steel, or solar-powered techniques. Understanding how to gather the right kind of fuel, tinder, kindling, and logs is equally important. When you can build and maintain a fire, you have one of the most important resources at your disposal, allowing you to stay warm, signal for help, and prepare food or purify water. Water is another critical resource for survival. The human body can survive for weeks without food, but only days without water. Identifying clean water sources and knowing how to purify water is a vital skill in any survival situation. Water can be sourced from streams, rivers, lakes, or even rainfall, but it's important to ensure that the water is safe to drink. Using water purification tablets, a portable filter, or boiling the water over a fire are all effective methods for making water safe. In situations where water is scarce, it is also essential to learn how to conserve water by limiting physical exertion, staying in shaded areas to avoid sweating, and utilizing techniques. Dehydration can impair your ability to think clearly and reduce your energy levels, so it's vital to address your hydration needs early and regularly. Food procurement is another crucial survival skill. While humans can survive without food for a period of time, the body requires nutrients and energy to function, and prolonged periods without food can lead to weakness, confusion, and diminished cognitive ability. The ability to find or forage for food in the wild can make a significant difference in a survival situation. Identifying edible plants, fruits, nuts, and herbs is an essential skill, as is understanding the importance of cooking and preparing food safely to avoid contamination. In addition to foraging, knowing how to trap fish or hunt can provide a more reliable source of food. Building simple traps or snares using fishing lines or understanding how to catch small animals or fish can sustain you during extended survival scenarios. It's important to know how to properly clean and prepare any food you acquire, as improper handling can lead to foodborne illnesses. First aid and medical knowledge are also key to survival. In any emergency situation, injuries or illness are inevitable, and knowing how to treat basic wounds, burns, fractures, or infections can save lives. Having a basic first aid kit with essentials like bandages, antiseptic, tweezers, and pain relievers is crucial. Learning how to stop bleeding, perform CPR, treat sprains, and recognize the signs of shock can make a critical difference when immediate medical help is not available. Additionally, being aware of common survival-related health issues, such as hypothermia, heat stroke, or dehydration, and knowing how to treat them is vital. Medical knowledge in survival situations can prevent minor injuries from becoming life-threatening. In addition to these practical survival skills, it's important to develop problem-solving and critical thinking abilities. Survival situations often require creative thinking and adaptability. You might find yourself with limited resources or in an unfamiliar environment. And the ability to think on your feet and find innovative solutions can be the difference between life and death. Problem solving in survival situations is about being resourceful, staying flexible, and not giving in to despair. By remaining calm, assessing the situation objectively, and using the resources available, you can navigate nearly any challenge. Communication is another often overlooked aspect of survival. In many situations, signaling for help or making contact with others can be a life-saving skill. Whether it's using a whistle, a mirror, or a fire to create smoke signals, or simply learning how to make your presence known in the wilderness, the ability to communicate your location or distress to rescuers can increase your chances of survival. In some cases, you may need to rely on non-verbal signals or create improvised communication methods based on the tools and materials at hand. Survival skills also extend beyond the physical. They involve cultivating a mindset of resilience, patience, and persistence. The ability to maintain hope, stay focused on your goal, and persevere through adversity is essential in any survival situation. It is often not the most physically fit individuals who survive, but those who are mentally tough, who refuse to give up when faced with challenges, and who approach survival with a mindset of determination. In conclusion, building practical survival skills is about more than just learning how to endure difficult circumstances. It's about cultivating the ability to take control of your environment, use your resources wisely, and adapt to the challenges at hand. Whether in the wilderness or during an urban crisis, these skills are essential for maintaining your well-being and increasing your chances of survival. In a world that is increasingly unpredictable, building survival skills provides you with a deeper sense of self-reliance, empowerment, and confidence, qualities that are invaluable in any aspect of life. Loneliness is often seen as something to be avoided, something to be feared, or even cured. In a world that is constantly connected through social media, technology, and bustling communities, the idea of being alone can feel intimidating or uncomfortable. It is easy to believe that loneliness equates to sadness, isolation, or emptiness. However, what if we were to shift our perspective and see loneliness not as something to fear, but as a powerful teacher that holds valuable lessons for our personal growth and self-discovery? At its core, loneliness is a deeply human experience, one that at times feels unavoidable. It is often during moments of solitude that we confront our deepest thoughts, feelings, and inner landscapes. While many might feel the urge to fill the void of loneliness with distractions or external validation, embracing loneliness as a teacher offers a unique opportunity to connect with our true selves, to understand who we are beneath the noise of daily life, and to cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace and self-reliance. The first lesson loneliness can teach is the art of self-acceptance. When we are alone, we are faced with the reality of who we are in the absence of external influences. Without the distraction of others' expectations, opinions, or judgments, we are forced to sit with ourselves. This can be a challenging experience, especially if we have not taken the time to truly know ourselves. But within this stillness lies the opportunity to accept ourselves as we are, without the need for validation from others. Embracing loneliness allows us to come to terms with our imperfections, quirks, and vulnerabilities, and to recognize that we are worthy of love and respect just as we are. Self-acceptance is not about complacency, but about acknowledging where we are in our journey and accepting ourselves in that space. Loneliness also provides the chance to deepen our relationship with ourselves. In our fast-paced, constantly connected world, it is easy to lose touch with our own needs, desires, and emotions. We often look to others for companionship, affirmation, or understanding, but in doing so, we may neglect the importance of nurturing our own inner world. Loneliness creates an opportunity to explore what brings us joy, what fuels our passions, and what aligns with our values. When we are alone, we have the time and space to reflect on our life choices, our goals, and our personal aspirations. This introspection can lead to a deeper understanding of who we are and what we want out of life, allowing us to make decisions that are aligned with our true selves rather than external pressures. Another powerful lesson loneliness can teach us is the importance of inner strength and resilience. In moments of solitude, we are often confronted with the absence of external support. While this may initially feel uncomfortable or unsettling, it is within these moments that we realize just how capable we are of standing on our own. Loneliness challenges us to rely on our own inner resources, our thoughts, creativity, resilience, and emotional intelligence to navigate difficult emotions and situations. When we embrace solitude and learn to face our fears, doubts, and insecurities without seeking immediate comfort from others, we build a profound sense of self-reliance and strength. We discover that we do not need to depend on external validation, distractions, or relationships to feel whole. In the absence of others, we learn to trust ourselves and our ability to endure. Loneliness also has the potential to teach us the value of mindfulness and presence. When we are constantly surrounded by others or bombarded with distractions, it is easy to lose touch with the present moment. Our attention becomes fragmented, and we may feel as though we are simply going through the motions of life without truly experiencing it. Loneliness, however, invites us to slow down, to breathe, and to be fully present with our own thoughts and feelings. In solitude, we can cultivate a deeper sense of awareness, tuning into the sensations, emotions, and thoughts that arise in each moment. This mindfulness helps us become more attuned to our own needs and desires, allowing us to make more intentional choices and live with greater purpose and clarity. It is often in these moments of quiet reflection that we are able to reconnect with the simple joys of life and experience a sense of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. One of the most profound lessons loneliness offers is the opportunity for personal transformation. When we are alone, we are free from the distractions of the outside world and can focus on the internal work that is necessary for growth. Solitude provides the space to confront our fears, doubts, and unresolved emotions. It is often in these moments of stillness that we are able to face parts of ourselves that we have been avoiding, our insecurities, our past traumas, our unmet needs. While this process can be uncomfortable and challenging, it is also incredibly liberating. By embracing our own vulnerabilities and working through the emotional baggage we carry, we create the opportunity for healing and transformation. Loneliness, in this sense, becomes a catalyst for personal evolution, allowing us to shed old patterns, beliefs, and habits that no longer serve us, and to step into a new version of ourselves that is more authentic, grounded, and self-aware. Furthermore, loneliness teaches us the importance of boundaries and self-care. In a world that often glorifies busyness and constant social interaction, we may forget the importance of taking time for ourselves. Loneliness provides an opportunity to reconnect with our own needs and establish boundaries that prioritize our well-being. In solitude, we can reflect on what drains our energy and what nourishes us, and we can make choices that honor our own needs for rest, creativity, and introspection. Embracing loneliness helps us recognize that self-care is not a luxury but a necessity, and it empowers us to set limits in our relationships, work, and other areas of life that allow us to maintain a sense of balance and peace. Through loneliness, we can also learn the value of deep connection with others. While solitude can be an enriching and transformative experience, it also highlights the importance of meaningful relationships. In our time alone, we gain clarity on what we truly need from others: genuine connection, understanding, and support. Loneliness teaches us that relationships based on authentic, mutual connection are far more fulfilling than those that are superficial or based on external circumstances. By embracing the lessons of solitude, we become more discerning in our relationships, valuing quality over quantity, and seeking connections that nourish and support our personal growth. Moreover, loneliness teaches us patience and acceptance. In moments of solitude, we often find ourselves longing for connection, for something to fill the space. This yearning is natural, but it is also an opportunity to practice patience, to allow ourselves to simply be, without needing to rush to fill the emptiness with distractions. Loneliness teaches us that the feeling of emptiness is not something to be feared or avoided. Rather, it is an invitation to sit with ourselves, to grow in acceptance of our own company, and to understand that true fulfillment comes from within. In this way, loneliness can be a teacher of patience, helping us to embrace the ebb and flow of emotions and experiences without clinging to the need for constant external stimulation. Finally, embracing loneliness as a teacher encourages us to find joy in our own company. Often we look to others to provide us with happiness, validation, or fulfillment. But when we learn to be comfortable in our own solitude, we unlock the ability to find contentment and joy from within. In the quiet of loneliness, we may discover new passions, hobbies, or creative outlets that bring us joy. We come to realize that we do not need others to complete us. We are whole and capable of creating our own happiness. In conclusion, loneliness is not something to fear or avoid. It is a teacher that offers invaluable lessons about self-acceptance, inner strength, mindfulness, and personal growth. By embracing loneliness and allowing ourselves to fully experience it, we gain the opportunity to reconnect with our true selves, heal past wounds, and cultivate a deeper sense of peace and resilience. In the quiet solitude, we discover the beauty of our own company and learn that true fulfillment does not come from external sources but from within. By allowing loneliness to be our teacher, we open the door to profound transformation and a richer, more meaningful life. In the journey of life, we often find ourselves navigating a complex web of relationships, family, friends, colleagues, and communities, each playing a unique role in shaping our experiences and our sense of self. As human beings, we are inherently social creatures, hardwired to connect with others. The need for connection, support, and shared experiences is deeply embedded in our nature. However, the way in which we relate to others, whether in terms of dependence or interdependence, can have profound effects on our growth, well-being, and the quality of our relationships. Dependency is often viewed as a state of reliance on others for emotional, financial, or physical support. While it is natural to need help at certain points in our lives, when dependency becomes the default mode of relating to others, it can lead to unhealthy patterns of behavior, erode our sense of autonomy, and prevent us from reaching our full potential. Dependency often implies an imbalance in relationships, where one person takes on a passive role and the other assumes the role of a caretaker, provider, or enabler. This dynamic can create a cycle of vulnerability, where the dependent person becomes overly reliant on the other for validation, decision-making, and even survival. Interdependence, on the other hand, represents a far more powerful and sustainable way of relating to others. It is rooted in the recognition that we are all connected, and that each person brings their unique strengths, talents, and resources to the table. Interdependence acknowledges that while we are capable of standing on our own and making independent choices, we are also deeply influenced and shaped by the people around us. It is a balanced, mutually beneficial relationship where both individuals or groups support one another, share responsibilities, and work together toward common goals. In interdependence, there is no imbalance. Instead, there is a sense of equality, respect, and shared purpose. When we recognize the strength of interdependence, we begin to see that the true power of human connection lies not in being dependent on others, but in the mutual exchange of energy, wisdom, and support. Interdependence is a dynamic force that encourages growth, fosters collaboration, and strengthens the bonds between people. Unlike dependency, which often fosters a sense of helplessness, interdependence allows us to flourish as individuals while remaining deeply connected to others. One of the core elements of interdependence is the recognition that everyone has something valuable to offer. In a world where individualism is often glorified, it is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we must accomplish everything on our own. We may pride ourselves on being self-sufficient, believing that asking for help or relying on others is a sign of weakness. However, the truth is that none of us can achieve our full potential in isolation. We all have unique gifts, experiences, and perspectives that can enrich and inspire others. By acknowledging the strength of interdependence, we open ourselves to learning from those around us and embracing the collective wisdom of the communities we are part of. Interdependence allows us to build strong, supportive networks that empower us to achieve goals that we might not be able to accomplish on our own. Whether it is in the workplace, in creative endeavors, or in personal relationships, collaboration can lead to more innovative ideas, more effective solutions, and more fulfilling outcomes. When we recognize that we do not have to do everything alone, we create space for cooperation and teamwork. In these environments, Individuals can complement one another's strengths and help fill in each other's gaps, leading to more well-rounded and successful outcomes. The beauty of interdependence lies in the fact that by working together, we can achieve far more than we ever could as isolated individuals. Interdependence also fosters a deeper sense of empathy and understanding. When we view others as partners in life, rather than as people from whom we must gain something, we create a foundation for genuine connection. In an interdependent relationship, there is a reciprocal flow of support and care. We learn to give and receive freely without the fear of being taken advantage of or the anxiety of being abandoned. There is a natural give and take in interdependence, where both parties benefit from the relationship and each person's needs and feelings are respected. This dynamic creates a sense of trust, safety, and mutual respect, which in turn strengthens the emotional bonds between individuals. On the flip side, dependency can often lead to a sense of insecurity and resentment. When we rely too heavily on others to meet our needs, we can become vulnerable to the whims of those on whom we depend. This can create an unhealthy power dynamic where one person feels obligated to provide, while the other feels helpless or incapable of functioning without support. Dependency can also create a sense of entitlement where one person believes that the other is responsible for their happiness, success, or well-being. This imbalance can breed dissatisfaction and undermine the potential for true partnership or cooperation. The strength of interdependence, by contrast, is rooted in equality and respect. Each person is able to contribute their own strengths and resources, knowing that their efforts will be met with gratitude and reciprocity. Another powerful aspect of interdependence is the ability to weather challenges and adversity together. Life is full of unexpected twists, and no one is immune to hardship. Whether it is personal loss, financial difficulty, health struggles, or emotional distress, we all face challenges that can feel overwhelming. In these moments, the strength of interdependence becomes evident. When we are able to lean on others for support, guidance, or simply a listening ear, we find the strength to navigate through difficult times. In turn, we also offer our own support to others when they are in need, creating a cycle of resilience that helps everyone involved. This reciprocal support system is what allows individuals and communities to persevere through adversity, growing stronger with each challenge they face. Interdependence also encourages personal growth and self-improvement. When we interact with others in an interdependent manner, we expose ourselves to new ideas, experiences, and perspectives. Through collaboration and connection, we learn more about ourselves and the world around us. Interdependence challenges us to step outside of our comfort zones, to confront our biases and limitations, and to adapt to the needs and viewpoints of others. In this way, interdependence is a catalyst for self-awareness and transformation. By recognizing the value of others and working together toward common goals, we become better versions of ourselves, more compassionate, open-minded, and adaptable. Furthermore, interdependence nurtures a sense of shared responsibility. When we embrace interdependence, we begin to see that the well-being of the individual is intertwined with the well-being of the collective. We recognize that our actions, choices, and behavior have an impact not only on ourselves but on the people around us. In an interdependent relationship, there is a mutual understanding that each person has a role to play in creating a harmonious and thriving environment. Whether it is within a family, a workplace, or a larger community, interdependence fosters a sense of collective ownership, where everyone takes responsibility for the success and well-being of the group. In contrast, dependency often leads to a mindset of passivity, where one person waits for others to take action or provide for them. Dependency can create a sense of entitlement, where individuals feel that others are obligated to meet their needs, regardless of the situation. This mindset can lead to resentment, frustration, and a lack of motivation to contribute to the collective good. Interdependence, on the other hand, inspires proactive participation and engagement, where each person plays an active role in nurturing and sustaining the relationships and communities they are part of. In conclusion, recognizing the strength of interdependence rather than dependency is an essential shift in how we approach relationships, personal growth, and the challenges of life. By embracing the idea that we are all connected and that our individual success and well-being are deeply tied to the well-being of others, we create a foundation for collaboration, empathy, and shared responsibility. Interdependence allows us to leverage our collective strengths, and wisdom to achieve greater success, face challenges with resilience, and build deeper, more meaningful connections with those around us. It is through interdependence that we find our true power, not in isolation, but in the recognition that together we are stronger.